What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, mate. My name is Randy Little. Welcome to Rec League Podcast, episode 106 and podcast. Um, it's corny, but I grew up on 106 in Park. Leave me alone. Um, this episode, again, just me and Rocket. It's some prior adulting going on with the other two buffoons. On this episode, it was some huge news over the past couple weeks. So there is a Will Smith related thing that we discuss. There is a James Gunn related thing that we discuss. And then we talk spoiler heavy. If you have not seen Knock at the Cabin, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, do not listen, do not watch until you have seen this movie. It's no holding back. We discuss every little detail about Knock at the Cabin. And M. Night Shyamalan in general. Yeah, me, Rocket. That's what we do. Like I said, my review is on my channel, my Randy Little YouTube channel. M. Night Shyamalan is probably one of my top 10 favorite directors, period. And this movie is kind of a testament to why. But recently, since the last podcast, we've gotten, you know what, man? Didn't nothing come out at the theater the weekend of January 27th? You People with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy is on YouTube, though. This past weekend, 80 for Brady came out. And if it was 80 for anybody else, I would have seen it. But I'm not supporting no Tom Brady. Sorry, Sally Fields. Sorry, Lily Tomlin. Sorry, Jane Fonda. Sorry, Rita Moreno. And Knock at the Cabin came out. 2 weeks is when the next episode should be out. And this upcoming weekend, Your Place or Mine, Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher got a rom-com on Netflix Valentine's weekend. Also, Magic Mike's Last Dance is this weekend. And the weekend of the next podcast, which should clue you in on what we talking about next episode before I say it at the end of the segment. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, yeah. On, y'all was gonna let me forget. On physical media, right after the last episode, we got Violent Night on Blu-ray. It looks like Belly got a 4K. That weirdo Martin Lawrence Mind Cage movie came out on physical. City on a Hill got a box set. And then this past Tuesday, Bones and All came out. And that's really it. It got undershipped by Warner Brothers. I just got it the other day. I didn't even get it on Tuesday. I was annoyed. As if you a collector, you know. You know the struggle of not getting your shit on Tuesdays. This upcoming Tuesday, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, DC animated movie Legion of Superheroes. Looks like Warm Bodies is getting a 4K. The Return of Swamp Thing is getting a 4K. Spoiler alert, the more dramatic Bros with Jim Parsons. That's coming out. Disney is re-releasing a bunch of shit for no reason. The Tuesday before the next episode, it looks like we get The Fablemans on physical. We get Strange World, another Disney. Speaking of Disney, on physical. Dawson's Creek is getting a Mill Creek box set. And then House Party and American Gigolo from Showtime. American Gigolo got canceled, which bums me out, but I still want to see the show. If that makes any sense. So, yeah. When I come back, I'm going to be with Rocket, Rocket, man. And we gonna talk about some stuff. Rec League. And we back. Half of the squad. Just like last ep. I don't know what it is, man. Like Eric, Nick, they have this this fixation. Like I think it's starting to become an obsession with employment and paychecks and making a living and surviving. Like I don't get it. No, I'm just playing. But it's your boy, and it's the Rocket
What's
Man.
up?
Uh, actually, like this is kind of gonna be like an episode of mini episodes, cause like the first couple blocks we're gonna cover like the Bad Boys 4 news, the James Gunn announcement, and then the second half. This is y'all warning right now. Knock at the Cabin, spoiler heavy, as well as M Night Shyamalan in general. So let's just start off. Bad Boys 4. Like Will Smith put a video out, Martin Lawrence spread it. Um, like it's been like 3 years now, and like I guess I was out of the loop that some people just didn't like Bad Boys for Life. I thought that retconning Mike having a kid was kind of whack, but overall I enjoyed Bad Boys for Life. So Bad Boys 4 comes out, bro. Like I'm there. Like it's fun to see like Will Smith is finally getting studios to not be scared. Like it's been a year. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Will Smith. Um, Bad Boys 4. What if they call it Bad Boys like number 4 Life? That would be whack too.
I think it's gonna be called Bad Boys Forever.
That's kind of a great title.
Right there. That's what because I mean, they even talk about joking around like, "Hey man, we messed up on that last title." You know what I mean? Because so it's funny because I'm happy Will Smith is coming back because word on the street was they were like touch and go. The studios were, and I think like everything else, if he doesn't have that incident, on Oscar night, who knows what other projects he probably would have been out on
Oh, he's
already.
got like 7 other movies in production if the last Oscars never happened.
Exactly. So I know a lot of people didn't watch Emancipation, but from when it
I
first came
haven't
out on
yet.
Apple TV, I haven't yet either. But I heard some people saying that it could have been kind of be Oscar worthy, but it was a tough watch. Now, whether
Yeah,
people didn't watch it because it had Will Smith or because it was a tough watch, either way, but I'm happy he did get a project out there
yeah.
prior to doing this announcement. And like everything else, time heals wounds. It's more or less Will Smith, the guy, he's an Academy Award winner. He won an Oscar, and he was nominated a couple of times prior to that. So he brings the
Mm-hmm.
goods. And for people to, you know, the backlash, I understand what he did. Yes, it was wrong. I get that. But at the end of the day, we've all made mistakes, you know?
I'm just I'm never gonna be one of the like he was defending his girl. That's just not wrong. I don't care if it was physical altercation or not.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was a joke, and I'm a Chris Rock fan too. But
Same. I'm saying.
Chris Rock know he was out of line. I don't care if Wilma was laughing at it and Jada gave the look, so he did what he did.
And I get that. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
right at the end of the day, though, I'm a huge Will Smith. I basically got almost every movie he's come out with.
it's not like
You
the
know what I mean?
elephant from Madagascar was gonna walk up
No,
on the zebra
yeah,
from Madagascar and they was just gonna go at it.
yeah.
So the shark
It
from
was.
Shark Tale, or I mean the fish from Shark Tale, had to come up. It's a whole DreamWorks thing, man.
I hear that. But at the end of the day, I'm happy
So
he's
stupid.
back.
Yeah,
He's back. I think I'm going to be there day one. I love the
day
Bad Boys
one.
franchise.
Yes, hell
I'll
yes.
be there. And if people want to continue, well, he did this. I'm not going to go. Well, that's on you. You're missing
Yeah,
out. Because at the
yeah.
end of the day, this franchise is great. And I think also by you said these big studios continue to work. Like Guy Ritchie is doing a different movie. I think once he does that movie, he's going to now come back to Aladdin 2. I think Aladdin 2 would have already been made if this didn't happen.
I
So
heard,
it
yeah,
also,
I heard
I'm
rumblings
guessing
about that.
I'm guessing that, once things, he just calmed down, he's starting to get projects. Like I said, you got Emancipation out there, which is good. That's one thing. Bad Boys, that's not what, 2024, 2025 when that comes out.
Have they announced a
That's
date?
more. No, I don't know. Like I'm just guessing when it's going to come out. 2024, maybe 2025.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, it's it's that even buys more time for things to calm down.
That's a fact.
So I'm happy for it. I'm
Like,
excited for
yeah,
it.
facts. Like, it's Will Smith, man. You don't want Will Smith in your movie. You're hurting your own box office. Like,
Yeah.
think about it.
And I haven't even seen the show he's executive produced, Bel Air. I haven't seen it.
I started
really
it yesterday. It's kind of great.
That's what I heard, and I haven't seen it. And remember, he's not going to do Prince of Bel Air, The Fresh Prince. That show is iconic.
Yeah.
What they need is it's out on DVD. I need that to be put on Blu-ray.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go buy it. But he's not going to reboot something that he is truly known for, and what really put him out there besides his music as an actor. And then to reboot it, he's not going to get behind projects he doesn't believe.
Yeah.
And I heard Bel Air. Everybody's telling me, even at work, you need to watch it. So that's one that I gotta add on my watch list again. So
I told the season 2 starts on the 23rd of this month, and I told one of my guys at work who was talking about it that I was gonna try to squeeze it in before season 2 came out, and like I said, I started yesterday. Literally before we just got on, I finished episode 7. It's a 10 episode season, so I'll be ready.
Dang.
Yeah, like it's just like the way I'm gonna explain it. It makes it sound bad. But one, it's a 10 episode season. It's not a sitcom, so you take the comedy and add more realism, and it's kind of exactly how the situation would go down. And
I like it. So it's realistic. It's truly realistic. See, that's what I like. Like it's good to have a little bit of zing humor here and there. Quick one-liners, because everybody does that. And sometimes when in certain situations, just to break the ice. But if it's more realistic, that makes even the show even better.
Yeah. It's probably the first. It's the first thing Peacock has put out on their own that I've watched. I'm gonna watch the best man. What's it called?
The series that they got out too, right? The Best Man.
Basically, the Best Man 3 that they made a show. I'm gonna watch that in a couple months.
Yeah.
Just because they put it out in December, and like I didn't want to not watch Christmas movies because the Best Man came out in December.
Isn't Bel Air? Isn't that old? Didn't they drop it on Blu-ray not too long ago? Too?
Yeah.
I know it's on physical.
I was just too lazy to go grab my Blu-ray. I just turned on Peacock. I'm sorry, it's like fast food. It was just right there. I didn't have to get up.
Yeah, I get that.
So, next, I guess we can jump into James Gunn's DC announcement that he put out on the 31st of January. What was real dope was he said 2023 Shazam Fury of the Gods was coming, The Flash is coming, Blue Beetle, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and he didn't brush these off like we got to get through these to get to the good stuff. He kind of complimented each one. Of course, being the Kevin Feige of DC Studios, he's seen each movie, and he implied that each of these characters or actors or whatever could have a future in his vision of DC Studios. But I don't know if I was him. And The Flash is supposed to be this reset, which I always predicted that they were going to try to, even when Hamada and whoever else was running things,
I agree,
to erase or ignore or retcon, whatever the terminology that Zack Snyder did. I thought they were going to use The Flash to get Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, whoever they wanted, gone.
Out.
Even though Ben Affleck's in the movie. But Zack Snyder's kind of implying, James Gunn's kind of implying that The Flash is going to do the same thing. So I would have made Aquaman a summer release, and I would have put The Flash out on Christmas.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. And the funny thing is, my wife Shelby and I, we were talking about it. We kept on saying they should push up The Flash because at the time with all the Ezra Miller stuff, they should push it up, just get it out there. Because now people are still going to want to check out, what this movie's about, with all that drama surrounding it.
And we're getting a trailer on Super Bowl. We're getting a trailer literally next week. And
Yep.
everybody our age knows that's paying attention. Michael Keaton's in this movie, so like people are
Oh,
going to watch.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited, and that's one of the things why I want to watch it for. A, all this drama. B, but it's the main reason is Michael Keaton back as Batman. That's and from previously to Peter Safran and James Gunn taking over, Michael Keaton was going to be part of this world quite a bit.
yeah.
They canceled the Batgirl movie. He was in that.
Which was
He's in the
supposedly
Flash.
unreleasable and would have hurt
Reasonable?
DC.
Yeah.
Safran said
Which
that it would have hurt DC movies or DC Comics or something. So that makes me want to see it even more. Like, what was so egregiously offensive about this movie? Everything I saw from Batgirl looked and sounded cool.
And the funny thing is, it's from the people that did
Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life. And Miss Marvel on Disney Plus was fantastic. I thought it was great.
It was really fun.
I thought it was great. And
that makes me more hyped for the Marvels than the first Captain Marvel movie.
I agree. And so with these announcements, I kind of like that. I'm hoping Blue Beetle, because it's the kid from I forget how to pronounce his name, but
yeah,
it's the kid from Cobra Kai, who I think is phenomenal. I think you've got to bring him in. I think Zachary Levi, though.
They're going to do a Booster Gold show. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle always link up. So you kind of got to.
That's my point. And so I'm hoping that they keep him on as Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi is the mystery because he's good friends with, James. All these guys know each other.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, it's Shazam is in its own little corner. But remember, in the first one, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it,
it's 3 years
old.
The
post-credit scene, it's Superman, but you don't see his head. So Superman still could buy into this to a degree.
He could be the Superman legacy Superman. He didn't have a head.
Exactly. So
we just assume it's Cavill.
Yep. I think Levi is safe, and he'll probably be somewhere down the road in this DCU universe. So
I hope so. And like I think keeping the Flash schedule where it is gives them the chance to keep Buddy from Cobra Kai, give Momoa a third movie, but like I don't know, put it in this alternate timeline to where they don't necessarily have to acknowledge anybody they don't want to bring back.
I agree. And my thing is, this is X-Men, the X-Men series. One thing, like continuity for them, it was out the door. They had movies all over the place. What's not saying Momoa, and that's the most intriguing character right now is Aquaman, because we all saw it on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever you want to check in social media. Jason Momoa had that meeting with both Gunn and Safran, and he came out excited.
Yeah.
And then when they interviewed him with Variety, I think he's like, nobody's taking Aquaman from me. Nobody's taking that. You know what I mean? And he goes, I can play other characters as well. So my thing is, this is maybe they told him there might be, because he always saw Aquaman as a trilogy. That's what they're saying. So he could be, and everybody's, it's not even, a secret anymore. Everybody wants to play Lobo.
Yeah.
He is Lobo. If you see it, I can see him playing Lobo, but also he could do Aquaman 2 years down the road, and that could be how, okay, let's take Aquaman 3. We could always do it, retro it back in its place. Here, look at Black Widow. If you go on the MCU timeline, Black Widow should have had a movie 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they just did it recently, and yet, if you go by the timeline, it's right after Civil War. So technically, you could do a movie whenever and just replace it in a certain timeline. So it doesn't matter when that movie gets done.
Yeah.
I honestly think that it's going to be a trilogy for Aquaman. He'll do Aquaman 3, but he's going to be playing Lobo. I think he's one of the very few that's going to do that.
If it's like I know he talked about like this like Elseworlds like sub
exactly
whatever. Yeah, it'd be cool if Lobo was one of those. I read something, I don't know if it was a quote from Safran from Gunn, somebody that the same actor won't play multiple characters. But yeah, like Jason Momoa, if they want to do Lobo, is kind of the only option.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's why he was excited because he's going to get what his dream was to have Aquaman be a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get that, and now he's going to do what everybody. The secret's out of the bag. No matter how much they want, everybody knows it's going to be Lobo.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. So I think that's where that's heading. Out of the basically the movies he announced, I'm interested in the Superman one because,
for sure.
like you said, the normies are going to go out and probably they don't care what's happening. They're just going to go watch it.
I just
It's
knowing
going to
James
be
Gunn,
interesting.
I think his writing is gonna skew closer to Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve,
Yes, I get that.
and
I totally
that's
get
what the
that.
general public wants.
Mm-hmm. But also, I still keep reading. People are just pissed off about this Hammer Game. Hey, look, I Christopher Reeves grew up watching him. Great. You know, Brandon Routh, I think, did an exceptional job in Superman Returns. He was pretty good. And then when he was in DC Legends in that Arrowverse, remember he played the Kingdom Come version of
Yeah,
Batman. He was solid. And but to me, I always thought those two are good. When Henry Cavill was in the Man of Steel, number one, that's I still think the best DC EU movie out there to me.
me too.
Man of Steel. That one is my favorite. That's at the top for me. That's my Superman. Like, and I grew up watching other ones, and Henry Cavill embodies Superman. He has the look, the physique,
Yep.
the charisma. He's Superman. I have a feeling, I know, and who knows what these guys signed at those meetings or talked about.
Yeah,
We all know it was very public with Henry Cavill when he said, I'm no longer Superman. The time has passed me. I
that
got
was
a
just
feeling
shitty
he's gonna.
timing.
It was, but I got a feeling he's coming back. I got a feeling because remember James Gunn said, you know, we want to work with Henry on maybe other projects, future projects. He has this Warhammer stuff coming out now. Don't be surprised. Maybe 5 years from now, 6 years from now, whatever, we'll see Henry Cavill how we saw Brandon Routh in the Arrowverse as the Kingdom Come Superman.
I can dig it. Let me see. Um, James Gunn announced. I only saw what he put on Twitter. Apparently, there's a longer thing on YouTube. He said that they're doing Creature Commandos, which
Yep.
sounds like Amanda Waller puts another team together, which it's gonna be. It sounds like it's basically gonna be an animated Suicide Squad with like creatures
That's
instead of
pretty.
humans.
Yeah.
Viola Davis is getting, and Creature Commandos is gonna be a show. Amanda Waller is getting her own show called Waller, which
Mm-hmm.
for now is going to be the in between of Peacemaker 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We already touched on Superman Legacy. That has a July 2025 release date. There's going to be a Lanterns TV show. All these shows I'm assuming are on HBO Max. And it's going to be Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart in a
I'm
true
excited for that.
detective-esque. Yeah, that show sounds
Mm-hmm.
fire.
Yep. I'm excited for that.
I have no idea what The Authority is. That's going to be a movie. Paradise Lost is going to be this universe's introduction to Wonder Woman. I'm assuming it's going to be
Yeah.
on Themyscira, another show. The Batman movie's called The Brave and the Bold. Damian Wayne is going to be in it. Like, we're going to get a serious Robin, and it's going to be Damian Wayne. Like, this movie's already going to be fire.
Mm-hmm.
I already touched on the Booster Gold show. We're going to get a Supergirl movie, which sounds really badass. Because it's not like she, like, jumped in a capsule and just made it to Earth. Like, she's been through some shit.
Yeah.
Based on, from the comic that he said it is based on. And then a Swamp Thing movie that James Mangold is hinting at maybe trying to direct. So like I've like always been into Swamp Thing, so like I'm hyped for that. Um, he said that they're gonna have like a subdivision of Elseworlds movies, which the Joker and Matt Reeves doing the Batman. That's where all that shit falls under. The Batman sequel got a October 2025 release date.
October 3rd. Yep.
So in this new continuity. There's Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, all established, and like it's got to be like a Marvel presentation. He didn't spill all the beans. There's projects in there that just haven't been announced yet. So we'll all be shocked at like Comic-Con 2026 when, hey, Martian Manhunter, March 2028, get ready, guys.
I think what's going on with that is, and that's only, remember he said this is, chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, as he named it.
Yeah.
Which is a great title.
Which, did you see the animated Justice League Gods and Monsters?
Yeah.
I want that movie. Like, I want that live action.
It's funny you say that because I got a feeling that might end the first chapter. Remember, there's other projects not announced. Like, I wonder if
Bruce Wayne is half bat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fire.
Right? So my thing is he said this is half of the first chapter. He didn't even say the first full thing. This is half. And
that's 10 projects. Gosh.
Yeah. And the thing is what I like what he said was anybody who's voicing the animated is going to do the live action. So for example, Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, so if that's an animated show, she's going to be voicing Amanda Waller. And then when it comes to live action, she's Amanda Waller.
So she'll be in the Creature Commandos.
Yep. So this is where it's going to be. He wants it all to be together with the animation, the live action, and the video game.
I wonder if that falls into like upcoming, like the Legion of Superheroes animated movie comes out this Tuesday.
Yep.
So is he including those releases too? Because that's where DC like has some mid, but really hasn't missed. So it's like, do I want James Gunn interfering in some shit that always gets me hype and rarely lets me down? You know what I'm saying?
I think because there's another one that comes out too this year, March. So you got Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, that's like an
Doom.
That's like an Elseworlds thing too.
That's what I'm saying. So, but also you got to remember these are coming out. Remember what he said. The Flash resets everything. So I think any animation
next
that comes
year
out prior to the Flash doesn't matter.
Because like not Superman Man of Tomorrow started a new shared universe.
Yes.
So let me see. So Michael C. Hall. Oh, so like I forgot that Man-Bat in the Gods and Monsters was Batman. So Michael C. Hall's kind of perfect casting.
Yeah.
Benjamin Bratt is Superman, a Hispanic Superman. And Tamara Taylor, I'm not really familiar with her, but she'd be Wonder Woman. I don't know if I see these actors in a big live action movie like this.
Well, I can see Michael C. Hall.
For sure.
Remember, he's Dexter.
Yeah.
For people out there that don't know, he's Dexter. So I can see him doing that because he has done some, movies on the big screen.
He gives off like the scientific, oh shit, I turned myself into a bat and not the rich guy I dress up like a bat.
Yep. And I can see Benjamin Bratt, but I can see him, I don't see him as what is it, Superman or nothing like that though. But I could see where
I could. I think that like that'd be like Oscar Isaac.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Even like Diego Luna.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Diego Luna is in The Last of Us, so I mean, it's going to be interesting how he's going to pull this off. I mean, it's James Gunn. I mean, this thing's out there. He's put out. He's never let me down. Yeah. That's why like I said, I know people were upset with the Henry Cavill. I totally get that. I was upset, but at the end of the day, is this guy, everything he's touched has turned to gold.
Was anybody upset about it whose Twitter bio doesn't say restore the Snyderverse?
Very true. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the Snyderverse.
I enjoyed it. It's the best. Like, you take out what Zack Snyder did in the past 10 years with DC movies, period. The rest of those movies skew kind of mid. Not bad. Some good Shazam, but kind of just average comic book viewing. Man of Steel, like that's where like I've been doing this podcast 5.5 years, whatever. And I feel like the topic that comes up more than anything else is me saying if DC would have let the man cook, Zack Snyder was putting together a concise, flowing narrative arc. Man of Steel to Batman v Superman to Zack Snyder's Justice League is the most interconnected storytelling any of the movies they put out in the past 10 years has.
Well, look at, and that's the thing. I think I will say this: when Man of Steel came out, let's just say Peter Safran and James Gunn were running the studio, and say in a perfect world, they were running it. Man of Steel comes out, Henry Cavill, Zack Snyder is directing. I think this would be just as successful as Marvel.
In 2015, we would have had Man of Steel 2.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And not only do I say that, but also remember, there was Warner Brothers interfering with. Remember, this is a Christopher Nolan also produced, executive producer on this. And that's the thing about it. Producers know that is, they could just come out, hey, how about this idea? Okay, boom, now they get a credit. But how much was he truly working on the project? That's the thing. So, but he got an executive producer cred. He got a cred. So that also helped, get the movie out there. You got Zack Snyder. And then you got a guy named Henry Cavill, who not many people knew at the time. Like, he was on TV shows like The Tudors.
Yeah.
He did, Immortals. But, remember, if people go way back, first time I saw Henry Cavill, he was, I think, 18 or 19 years old. The Count of Monte Cristo, which that movie is dope. Okay? And he was like 19 years old in that movie. But in a perfect world, I think we would have Man of Steel 2, like you said, and I think this universe would be thriving.
But Cavill auditioned for Superman Returns. I'm pretty sure Batman Begins, Casino Royale.
And remember, he also auditioned for Superman Returns, and Brandon Routh beat him out.
Yep.
What ends up happening, he becomes Superman here. Remember, Daniel Craig beat out Henry Cavill for James Bond.
Yeah.
It's so he's just coming, so
but
is
also,
he the next James Bond? Who knows?
It's a Warner Brothers issue. Go all the way back to Superman 2. Have they ever had a comic book series, a shared universe in general that Warner Brothers has not fucked up? They listened to the Karens and the soccer moms and pushed Tim Burton out of Batman 3. They fucking, like, I don't even know where they thought Superman Returns was going. Like, we could have got a Superman Returns sequel. They just, like, didn't like the box office. They listened to Twitter, interfered in the Suicide Squad editing, the Justice League editing, and then the Lego universe, the Monsterverse, the Conjuring verse. They've never had a universe that has actually hit that trajectory to compete with Marvel. But they want to so bad, but they can't get out of their own way. So it's like, are y'all going to let James Gunn and Peter Safran do their thing, build something that actually makes sense and has an Avengers Endgame in mind? When I'm fucking 50 years old, we finally get the payoff for what they're starting now. I don't know, we'll see.
It's crazy too because, like you said, interference. Look at Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Okay, just the title alone, Batman versus Superman. Remember, the first time we even saw that logo was what? In I Am Legend. Remember that? Like in the back of I Am Legend.
I remember being like 16 years old, like reading something that like Wolfgang Peterson, coming off The Perfect Storm, was gonna do a Batman vs Superman movie. And I think that was the logo that they were going to use.
That was the logo. And the funny thing about all that is that should have been instantly, just for time, billion-dollar movie. Now, it didn't make it made a lot of money, but it underperformed, as people say, because it didn't make $1 billion. But when you watch the Ultimate Edition, movie is way better,
so good,
better. And once again, that's because Warner Brothers interfered. And that's the thing is they can't keep putting themselves in the wrong way.
Yeah.
They can't get out, they keep on interfering. Let these guys direct, let them do their job. And
it's a side note, but I kind of think Marvel is starting to do that, like that runtime limit. Strange was 2 hours. Love and Thunder was 2 hours. Ant-Man is just over 2 hours. Like they let Ryan Coogler do his own thing, and he's Ryan Coogler. Black Panther's amazing, but is
But you also got to remember that was with Chapek in there. Bob Iger is back. I think it's going to be back to normal. And those movies were under the, even though they're coming out now, and Iger is the CEO now again, but those movies were being filmed while Chapek was there.
that's
And I
facts.
think that's where that's it. So I think it's going to go back to normal. The
Guardians
great thing
and the
about
Marvels
this,
could have longer
yeah,
run times.
exactly. And I think Kevin Feige, remember James Gunn was going to be, and the way it was looking, the speculation, the way it was looking, James Gunn was going to be Feige's right hand man.
Yeah.
He was going to have his guy. And James Gunn was good prior to the Guard. Look, I'm a comic book head. I used to love collecting comic books. I never even heard of Guardians of the Galaxy until they came out.
And fucking James Gunn, that's what the authority is here.
Yep. And with him, he's gonna bring out characters that I've never even heard of. Creature Commando or the Authority. I've heard of everybody else. Like, I'm excited for the Swamp Thing because the Swamp Thing. This is how messed up Warner Brothers and DC was. The Swamp Thing, the TV show, came out like 2 years ago.
Canceled it within 2 weeks.
After the first episode, they already were canceling. After the first episode aired, they made an announcement that they're canceling the show. I'm like, and if you watch that first season, it's pretty damn good.
I never watched it.
It's good.
I was telling one of my guys at work they should just grandfather in everybody from the show into the movie.
And that's the thing is it's crazy because if you watched it, say you watch it, you're gonna be like, why did they even cancel this show? This show is damn good. But that's once again how Warner Brothers can't get out of their own way.
Yeah. Let's break on that. All right. What you want to do? Some fan casting? You want to talk about the Batman 2?
Batman 2 be interesting.
Who you think? Am I the only one to think like putting the more outrageous villains, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Clayface, into the semi-realistic world that Matt Reeves has set up is kind of ridiculous? I really want a more serious Mr. Freeze.
That's the one I want. Because I think they did Mr. Freeze in the animated series really well. I think.
Yeah.
Batman animated series. They did it really well. That could be something to a degree kind of realistic.
But it's like,
let's just say
take that same story. Like he's using crime as a way to try to save his wife. It's still a heartbreaking story.
It is. It is. And
Matt Reeves talking about epic crime saga though. He could be doing a ventriloquist and Mr. Scarface. He could be doing Two-Face. You never know. Man,
the one I really want is the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter would be fire. I feel like Disney has kind of put that in a way to where like the comparison, there's going to be stupid comparisons, this, that, and a third. But yeah, like some kind of like Red Triangle Gang-esque Alice in Wonderland themed shit. And like, I know it's not going to go down now. He's way too old. But like in the 90s, I always thought like, man, like the brother from Frasier would be perfect casting for the Riddler, and Martin Short would be perfect casting for the Mad Hatter.
Martin Short, that'd be a good one, yeah.
But he's like 70 now.
Yeah. He's in that show. What is it? Murders in the Building?
Only Murders in the Building. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic show. Fantastic. But the Mad Hatter, the way I see it is this. Remember, he could leave a calling card. You know what I mean? Like that's his thing. You know what I mean? That's the Mad Hatter. That could go so many different ways. But that's the one. The two I would like to see: the Mad Hatter or Mr. Freeze. But the sad thing is, and it's not sad, but the Joker eventually is gonna play into it again.
Yeah.
And as much as I like the Joker, I mean that's Batman's yin to his yang and all that. But at the end of the day, the Joker is always going to be a part of it. There's never going to be not a world where Batman's in that the Joker's not involved.
I don't know how much I even love Barry Keoghan as the Joker. You know, obviously, like they alluded, Matt Reeves
Yep.
is already set up. Joker is eventually coming. Do it in the
Yep.
third one. Just like
Yeah, don't do it now.
let Pattinson fully be Batman. In the first movie, he's so consumed with vengeance, and he just doesn't understand how important Bruce Wayne is to being Batman. So like, let the sequel be like, okay, like Bruce Wayne got to be like more in the public eye, or somebody gonna end up putting the dots together. And then the third movie, fuck it, just mad chaos, just Barry Keoghan like putting his anarchy, his spin of the Joker. If he gonna cut his face off, or if he gonna do whatever version we gonna do, I don't know, man.
My thing is this: is do you think? Because Matt Reeves wants to do a trilogy, which is going to happen.
Yeah.
Think Batman 2 got a release date. Great. I could see where maybe in the third one, remember, Paul Dano is still the Riddler. Does it get to a point where whoever the villain is in this next one, depending on what happens, we don't know what happens, if the villain somehow survives or whatever, if all three of those characters come for the final one?
I was just thinking, what if I don't know, the analogy or the comparison might sound ridiculous. Matt Reeves has already set up every villain from the Adam West Batman movie. Mm-hmm. So what if we get Zoe, Paul Dano, Barry Keoghan, Colin Farrell as just teaming up against Batman in the third movie? It'd be kind of insane.
It would be. And also you have someone with a bit of a dilemma in Zoe as Catwoman because, she likes Batman. Are they eventually going to meet up as Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne? That's the one thing they haven't done.
They kind of got to.
Exactly. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we have a timetable now. It's going to be a little bit over 2 years, but it's coming out.
There's so many different possibilities, man. Like, I want Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, whoever's putting out comic book movies, man. Start treating these characters like James Bond. Stop restarting every single time you recast. Like, you can do the Batman. We got the Riddler, we got the Penguin, we got the Catwoman. In 2038, you can have the same continuity and it could be 5 Batmans later. Like, who cares?
Exactly.
Like, bro, like, because rewatching or watching for the first time Sean Connery and Dr. No getting all the way up to Tomorrow Never Dies, like, there's some dialogue that implies that it's still the same continuity.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the one where what was it when the new James Bond came in after Sean Connery?
Lazenby.
Lazenby, George Lazenby, when he came in, remember, his James Bond got married.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert, 40 plus years later.
Yeah.
His wife dies in the same movie. His wife dies. Gets gunned down and all that. They go back to that when Roger Moore is now James Bond because he visits her tombstone. So it's the same character.
Yes.
It's the same character. So they can do that here. What I like about it is when Robert Pattinson was named as Batman, remember everybody, yes, he was in the one Harry Potter movie.
Twilight.
Get it? That's exactly it. Remember, you, me, the next door neighbor, anybody, as we get older, we mature.
Yes.
We get better in our craft. He got better in his craft. At the end of the day, people know him for the Twilight movies. They exploded. They blew up. They made money. You could make fun of them. They made money. But at the end, now, everybody doesn't see Robert Pattinson as the guy from Twilight. They see him as Batman.
After those was announced, I talked to Nick and Eric about the shit. I watched the Twilight movies like weeks after he was announced as Batman. Robert Pattinson is not the weak link in that series.
No.
It's the writing. It's the behind the scenes. Even Taylor Lautner. Roast him, make fun of him for being in Adam Sandler shit, whatever. Like, nobody on screen is at fault for the Twilight movies being ass.
And if you think about it, you got some, throughout that whole series, especially in Breaking Dawn Parts 1 and 2, you got some damn good actors who are known now that are in that series.
Yeah.
If you go back to it, it's, Dexter, let's say the show Dexter, his brother, who plays his brother,
the Ice Truck Killer.
I mean, you got awesome actors in that series. I don't care how good of an actor you are, you could only give what you got to make it better. That's all it is. And like, just sometimes it's good. It's not. Me personally, I enjoy those movies. I just enjoy them. It's entertainment. It's just entertainment.
No, I'm just playing. Everybody got their own flavor. Yeah, you like what you like. Yeah, like I'm looking to name drop some motherfuckers right now. Like Anna Kendrick is in at least like 3 of those 4 or 5 movies.
And the funny thing is she blew up before Kristen Stewart did.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect. She was in Up in the Air.
Yep. And remember, you have Christina Serrano, who's in the Walking Dead series.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of those people that were in those movies actually did well for themselves after the fact.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's like Twilight is kind of seen like horror movies are. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like,
yeah,
I'm going to use this to get on to better shit. But yeah, like,
exactly.
Dakota Fanning, Christian Camargo, that's the Ice Truck Killer, Lee Pace, Rami Malek, all in Twilight. Jamie Campbell Bower, who was just the main villain in The Last Stranger Things. Maggie Grace, Fear the Walking Dead.
I'm telling you, it's they were probably big names then. I mean, we know about them, but look at them now. That's what I'm saying. It's the talent was there.
Yep.
But I'm excited for the Batman 2. And remember, Joker, the second one, that's coming out soon as well.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. I don't know about Todd Phillips and musicals and Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. There's a lot of variables. It's got a lot to live up to.
There is. And I think when people hear musical, they think like Moulin Rouge or Les Mis or West Side Story.
Yes, sir.
I think what's going to happen is the musical portion of the movie is going to be in flashbacks, or like when they're, it's a thought in their mind that there's going to be like a musical rendition or something to that effect. I think it's going to be a movie, and then they're going to flash back to certain things where that's where the musical portion takes place. I don't think the whole movie is going to be a musical. But who thought a Joker movie without Batman was going to make $1 billion?
Yeah.
And also, you got Joaquin Phoenix, who won Best Actor.
Yeah.
I mean, that character. Damn. Remember, that is the only comic book character, whether it's DC or Marvel or any other comic book title, that has won 2 Academy Awards.
I was gonna
Heath
say
Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix for the same character.
DC really got 2 acting Oscars before Marvel got one.
I think Marvel gets their one this year with Angela Bassett.
Oh, for sure. Most definitely. I don't know, man. We kind of covered all of this already, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm intrigued, though. I'm intrigued about that Superman one. That's the one.
Yeah, I'm
intrigued with that.
Closing the DC portion of this discussion, I am putting my chips on the table because, like, look at the time frame. This Comic-Con 2023, I think DC announces who is going to play Superman.
I agree.
James Gunn's writing. He hasn't said, I don't think he said how far he is into writing, the
Yeah,
Superman script or plot or story or whatever. But within 2 years, you kind of have to cast and film and edit to make it to your projected release date, right?
yeah, exactly. I honestly think they already know who's gonna be. Rumor is it Ben Affleck is gonna direct the Batman, the
Brave and the
Bold and the
Bold.
Brave. Yeah, Brave and the Bold.
That's kind of great.
You know, and if I wonder if that's the case, do they take the script that he was going to do and just tweak it here and there, add being way to it? You know what I mean? Like, is that going to be part of that? I don't know, but those are, like I said, rumors. If that's the, remember, Batman is his favorite character. He knows that character like the back of his hand. Him directing it, I do remember. This is and he he didn't win and wasn't even nominated for best director when Argo won best picture, which he directed, which I don't understand.
Nah,
I don't get that at all. And but this guy has put out a best picture winner. Him doing a visceral, and that's one thing about James Gunn. He don't care about no PG-13 rated. If it suits it, he's gonna let it ride. Look at Peacemaker. That's hard R stuff.
for sure.
I got a feeling some of these movies are gonna be PG-13. Some are gonna be rated R.
I think Swamp Thing and The Authority are like definite R's.
Swamp Thing to me is it has a horror movie feel to it.
It should.
That's rated R. That's gonna be R.
It's like Plant Frankenstein.
Pretty much. So that's what I'm interested in the Brave and the Bold, but the Superman one is going to be the one. He's got to hit the casting on the head.
Yeah.
But also, this is where playing devil's advocate.
Wonder Bread, white boy, jawline,
you know,
dark hair.
It's going to be where, because I think Creature Commando kicks it off, but it's an animated.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie though is going to be the Superman Legacy one. What happens if that does not do well in the theaters? Now, say it makes 550, 600 million. Obviously, that is not what they're expecting.
I think it's just gonna based on the trailers. The marketing has to hit.
Yeah, it has to, because look, the Suicide Squad movie he put out, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
We were kind of still balls deep in the pandemic, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, and it didn't help. It didn't help that.
That's the thing.
The previous regime put it also on HBO. It was like saying it was day and date release. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's James Gunn writing and directing. That is James Gunn and all his quirks.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying James Gunn might direct this Superman. So it's like, can he scale it back? Can he take, like, borrow whatever? Can he plug a little bit of Richard Donner, a little bit of Bryan Singer, a little bit of Zack Snyder into this movie and make a Superman movie, not a, hey, let's put a dick joke in a Superman movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's like every fan's fear that Jimmy Olsen's going to be the comic relief and it's going to skew a little like Guardians of the Galaxy and less truth, justice, and all the...
Yeah. Like me, for fan casting, like I said, if he would have taken over DC 5 years ago, James Gunn, I can see Booster Gold being played by Nathan Fillion.
It's pretty spot on.
But Nathan Fillion's on that show now, The Rookie. Guy's still in great shape, but he's already in his 50s.
Yeah.
Who knows when this movie's coming out?
It's like they've kind of missed the time to get Willem Dafoe as Joker and Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, and the window's passed just because of age.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about it. I mean, yeah, can you de-age things? Yeah, of course, but also there's a physicality to these characters. You know, Willem Dafoe's a Joker, pretty phenomenal.
Perfect.
Phenomenal. You know, and we're going to see a little bit of that as well in that movie he's coming out on. It's called Inside, where he is stuck in a house. He's an art thief, and he's stuck in a house where it's stuff where he would steal, and he's losing it. So I want to see how that is going to work out.
I think y'all was talking about that 2 or 3 episodes back.
Yep. But I could have seen Nathan Fillion as Booster Gold, but once again, he's in his early 50s.
Yeah.
It's like
Blue
what
Beetle
happens.
is in his 20s, so they kind of have
Yep,
to like get Booster Gold to be mid late 20s, early 30s.
I'm guessing early 30s.
If the plan is to eventually bring them together.
Yeah, and you're also looking at, like you said, Blue Beetle, young. Superman, young. Batman, not young. He already has Damian Wayne
I was thinking that too.
At an age where he's already Robin, so he's got to be at least 14, I want to say between 15 and 16 years old.
Is this continuity gonna make Damian the first Robin, or are we gonna get implications that Dick Grayson's out there somewhere, Red Hood is out there somewhere? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what's going to happen, and I think
Barbara Gordon, is she Oracle yet? Is she Batgirl?
Well, I think
is
they can't.
Is
They
Batwoman out there?
They cancel Titans. Brandon Thwaites, who played, Nightwing. I would not be. He's still young. He's 30 something years old. He's like 32, 33. Remember, he says he wants to get the Batman family. This is going to be about the Batman family. So that tells
that'd be great.
me
Titans has already introduced 3 versions of Robin.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Dick Grayson is going to be already Nightwing. You're going to have Barbara Gordon out there.
They can do something the way that Marvel's kind of like using different universes to kind of show like not every version of every character looks the same, and they like fuse timelines and shit. They can use the Flash to kind of like mesh Brennan Thwaites into whatever James Gunn wants to do. I hope, man, because I like him as Dick Grayson.
So do I. And like I said, a lot of people, fan casting, they're saying he might be the new Bruce Wayne. That's like what?
I wouldn't hate it,
bro. How about? See, this is the problem though, is it's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen. But I would love to see, and he has the look. He has it all. Henry Cavill as Batman. What do you think? Now, listen hear me out.
He's got to be a little more grizzled.
But the thing is this: Henry Cavill's like 39. Okay, he's 39, so he's at an age where he would have a Damian Wayne, but also if he never played Superman, which is hard to get out of our minds, but if he never plays Superman, and he's done other great projects like the Mission Impossible stuff and all that, and we know how he works and how good he is. Man from Uncle, he was awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you hear Henry Cavill might be your new Batman in the James Gunn universe. I guarantee everybody's like, yep, that's the guy. But because we see him still, he's our Superman. Like
it's weird. It's weird.
Some people are even saying Jason Momoa, but I'm like, no, Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo.
Like before Pattinson, I wanted Rob Stark. I wanted Richard Madden.
Richard Madden, yep.
And like, is he done in the MCU? Have big budget comic book studios plucked every single actor to the point that they have to accept some are gonna play in both worlds? I kind of still want Richard Madden. You kind of need
he's young. He's still a young guy.
Like you're saying, if you're going Damian Wayne, you need a guy that's been Batman at least 15 years. Who knows when him and Talia banged it out. Damian has to be at least 11, 12, 13. So, I don't know. I suck at fan casting. Like, I don't know. I'm actually pretty good at fan casting, but like getting put on the spot, I don't know. Like, I still got to say Richard Madden.
You know what? I would not be mad with that. Richard Madden, I would not be mad. How do you think this? Say they do bring a Nightwing. I would love to see Brendan Thwaites come back, but if not, a guy like Zac Efron.
That's kind of great. Like I've been thinking about him as Johnny Storm, but he'd be a pretty legit Nightwing, Dick Grayson.
And that's the thing with the times about now. Everybody talks about comic book fatigue, this and that. I get it. I understand it. I understand.
Just don't go watch the shit.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I remember there was a time where big time actors did not want to do any comic book roles.
Nah.
Now they want to be in these universes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio is like the last guy that just doesn't want to be in a comic book movie. And I know you've heard, like, he's told Timothy Chalamet, like, no drugs, no comic book movies or something.
It's like, to each their own.
He'd be a good, like, Jason Todd or whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
If Warner Brothers or James Gunn, like, hey, bro, like, look, you got your award shit. Come get in this geek stuff. You're gonna get paid. We know you can act. Let's do it. I think James Gunn could talk Timothy Chalamet, and he's already in Dune, so he's been around Momoa. He's been around Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård. Timothy Chalamet will probably be in this DC universe.
And I can see him being the Mad Hatter. I seen him in the Willy Wonka, that Wonka movie coming out with him. That outfit, I could definitely see him seeing something like that. So
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking a version of Robin, but okay.
I can see him playing Robin too, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, like if he's talking about Bat Family, like I want Batwing, I want Lucius Fox's son in a little metal Batman suit.
Everybody.
I want every version of Robin. Hell yeah. I want a movie where Dick Grayson is Batman. I want all of that shit. But break it off again. We'll come back. M. Night, Knock at the Cabin. We'll probably mix up the conversation somehow. But second break. All right. Third warning. If you have not seen Knock at the Cabin, turn this shit the fuck off. We're spoiling everything. We telling y'all everybody that dies. We telling how many knocks are knocked at this cabin. All of it. What you think?
Solid movie. I liked it. It was one of his better movies. Not gonna lie, I was expecting that formula, that M. Night Shyamalan formula where there's a twist. And talking to one of my nephew's friends who came out, saw it in the same theater, he was like, maybe that was a twist. That everybody was expecting a twist, and there wasn't a twist.
I think I think the explanation of the four people coming together, spending time with them, being fuck it, spoilers, being the four horsemen of the apocalypse. That was the twist. That they weren't there to kill or harass or invade.
No.
They were just there to like spend their final moments with a good people that produce a good vibe or whatever.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it too was I like how it started, the movie. They just get right into it.
Yeah. Dave Bautista was creeping me the fuck out.
Bro, and he played it perfectly. Like, I will say this. You got, John Cena. You got The Rock. You even had, like I just said off camera, They Live. Roddy Piper, who's probably one of the first wrestlers to go into acting.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave Bautista
you sleeping on Thunder Lips, but go off.
Hulk Hogan. Okay, yep. In the Rocky 2. But at the end of the day, I think Bautista, when he started acting, he was in, I think, one of the Riddick movies with,
yes.
Vin Diesel. He was, and then James Gunn has him as Drax, and I think James Gunn has casted him perfectly where he's used his strengths more than his weaknesses. He hides his weaknesses and all that.
In the first one.
Bautista is becoming a really good actor. Really good. Like, in this one, he was phenomenal.
I give it another 5 years. Like we say all the time, The Rock has become a brand. The Rock is going to do his Jumanji, his Hobbs and Shaw, his Black Adam. He's going to be practically himself
An
in
action.
every movie. I love The Rock.
Yeah, an
I've been a
action
fan of
movie.
The Rock over
Yeah.
20, 25 years. But
Same.
as an actor, he's becoming very one note. Dave Bautista is challenging himself with every new role he takes. Another 5 years, it's not even going to be a debate. He will be the best
No.
wrestler turned actor ever. Unless
And-
John
and you-
Cena
and you
does
hit
some
it-
awards caliber shit.
And you hit it dead on. And John Cena has some awesome comedy chops.
He does.
His time, especially in Peacemaker, that was. I mean, come on.
Oh, like Sisters. I first noticed it in Sisters. He's like the big, lunky, like tattooed dude just standing up against the wall at this party. He was hilarious. But then Daddy's Home and like Peacemaker with like basically no rating. He could say whatever he wanted, ad lib whatever he wanted. He's great. Like I will say though, Fast 9 and probably Fast 10, trash. I hate that character.
And that's the thing is like, you want to hear something crazy? Obviously, Fast 10's coming out, I'm going to watch it. I own it. I still have yet to see Fast 9 because I heard how trash it was. I was like, I will watch it. I tell my wife, I got to watch it. And that movie's old already. I got to watch it. I'll watch it before Fast 10, but I heard it's not good. And that's probably like the worst one out of all of them is what I heard. And
dude, you're going to make me look it up.
But if you think about it, I think everybody has their own niche. Right now, it looks like John Cena's niche is the comedy aspect. The Rock's niche is the action hero. Dave Bautista is broadening his acting.
He's not trying to be backed into a corner.
No. He's a funny guy with Drax. He's the comedic relief in the Guardian movies. But then he does a movie like Blade Runner 2049, that one scene he had, that was dope.
That's what got him cast in this.
Yep, and the movie, then he does this. Bro, he was so calm. And that was the creepy part.
Yeah.
I don't care how calm you are. You could be the calmest person. If someone is yelling at you, cursing you out, you're going to rear up. Get in their face. But he was chill.
To be as big as he is, and to be that chill, like it was a mind fuck in its own. It just didn't make sense. Like he was so reserved, but big as fuck.
And even in the fight scenes, you could tell he was fighting to defend himself and not hurt them.
Yeah.
And when he had to do something, I'm stronger than you.
It's a phrase, yeah. It's a phrase that I kind of want to be gone, but I'm gonna bring it back for this. KnockAtTheCabin, Man with the Iron Fist, Guardians of the Galaxy, Blade Runner 2049. Dave Bautista understands the assignment.
Yep.
So like going back right quick, I have F9 ranked 9 out of 10 Fast and Furious movies, but it might get put last after this year because it's just like. I have Too Fast, Too Furious last, but I like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh yeah.
F9 was so just. It's like they took all these fan theories they saw on Twitter and was just like, yeah, let's do it. And then they like retcon so much, and they like.
That's what I heard. Like I was so happy when they brought back Han.
F9 is
Han is a good character. I love Han. A good, awesome character.
And going back to the DC shit, F9 has like a mid-credit scene that I feel like is never going to get paid off.
Yeah, and the funny thing is from what I'm hearing, Part 10 is a 2-parter, so there's actually going to be 2 more movies after this. You know? So, but I heard, they retcon Han, like, they could have been a way to do it. I want to know how that would have been done, but I heard they just, like, Tokyo Drift, that never happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've heard. And it's like, I don't know if it's true enough because I haven't seen it, but I heard it was not good.
Tokyo Drift is it's what started the whole trajectory that the franchise went on to become a good action franchise. Until F9, I'm telling you. The Fast and Furious franchise was up there with John Wick and Mission Impossible as one of the best action franchises, and F9 killed it. In a bad way. F9, so stupid.
Bro, I heard when I hear that they go into outer space in a Fiero, That was it. I was like, all right, I'll wait.
I cannot confirm nor deny the ridiculousness that you just stated.
uh,
But yeah, Batista, KnockAtTheCabin. His name is
yeah,
Leonard. He's good at catching grasshoppers. Yeah, because like there's like this one like tight shot, like he's talking to a little girl, and the shot is so tight on his face, and it's like man, like I really feel like he's just about to, like, I knew he wasn't, but it's like, man, he's just gonna snatch up this little girl right quick.
that's what I thought
Like
too.
this
That's
is
what I
some
thought
real
too.
like child predator shit right now.
Mm-hmm. And what I also like too, it was, you know, I love seeing Rupert Grint.
I was gonna
Everybody
get
knows
there.
him as Ron Weasley, but he was an asshole. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I hear
He
he's
was
also in,
a homophobic asshole.
yeah, and I hear he was in he's in the Apple Plus show with the M Night the Servant.
Yeah,
He's in
servant. Yeah,
that too. So you know he's worked with M Night Shyamalan in the past and all, but seeing him in this small role, short, he does have a slight flashback scene, but I mean seeing him in that way, that was kind of odd for me.
yeah. It's like four people approach, knock at this cabin. You've seen the trailers. They approach this family, two guys and their daughter. One of y'all has to willingly kill each other to prevent the end of the world. And every time you say no, you're gonna unleash a plague. And unleashing that plague is one of these four antagonists dying. Like they willingly sacrifice themselves to unleash a plague. Like as I'm saying it, I didn't think about it watching the movie, but they're doing the opposite of what they're asking these people to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they don't necessarily show the kill, but they show the swing of the blade, the bludgeoning or whatever, and you see the blood come back up. So yeah, it's like kind of shitty. And like Ben Aldridge plays like the more aggressive of the two and of the couple.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good in this shit.
He
And
was.
like he knew like the dude from Hogwarts attacked me in a bar, and he was right. Like that was dope. Like how they
That was
he didn't just accuse, like he made sure to confirm. And like I've seen a lot of like they wanted backstory. Like I've seen a couple like reactions to this movie where people wanted backstory on Batista, Nikki, Amuka, Bird, Abby Quinn, Rupert Grant. And it's like, bro, like we got the backstory. One of them's a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
one of them's a chef, one of them's a nurse, one of them's a redneck bigot. Like we got the backstory on these people. Like people, I don't know, people want too much so they can like something. And it's like you got the backstory on the protagonist, the people you care about. Like the writing in
And
this
they
shit.
explained it to you.
Yes.
Remember when they introduced themselves, they're like, "My name is Leonard. I'm a second grade teacher." The one lady, she goes, "I'm a nurse.
I have a
two
son.
kids. I have a son." It's they all.
I'm a Virgo. I like
give,
long walks on the beach.
yeah, yeah, that was funny. It's that's the Rupert Grint's character. You found out he got abused because when he says, "Yeah, also I got my ass kicked," like Ben Aldridge's character, like he just kicked my ass, just like that. So you knew he came from an abused home.
Yeah.
So people saying that they needed more. I mean, how much more do you want?
Yeah.
A spinoff,
dude. Yes.
A spinoff of their life. It's just like they explain to them when they have them tied up. We don't want to do this. This is not by choice. We're doing this because we have to, and you have to decide.
Like people try to shit on M. Night and his genius because he doesn't spoon feed everything.
And I like that though, because he treats the audience. You guys are smart. You guys will figure it out. I don't want to be like, well, this is happening because of this, and this, and then this is happening. No, I'm not. Then why go to the movie? It's just being laid out for me. I want to use my mind to figure out.
I'm telling you, just like literally right now, like I'll talk about some shit and think about it, and then I'll connect those dots, even if it's not right there in the theater. And yeah, like that makes it even better. Every time you guys don't willingly kill one of your own family members, people that you love, we're going to kill each other to unleash some bad shit into the world. Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you
Oh, that's so good.
think about it, they are you know the villains in this movie. They are the villains, even though they're not a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, you got good people giving bad news and forcing other good people to make this bad decision. And at the end of the day, you got two groups are seeing it. One is saying you have to do this. One group is saying I can't, or at least one person out of the couple. I'll get to Jonathan Groff here in a second,
Yeah.
saying, no, this you're lying, this and that. And yet at the end, innocent people on both ends, depending how you see it, are dying. Because one is defending the family, you got to kill this group, and one, like the lady who's the nurse, gets shot. She dies. He ended up killing her. She's a good person. She
Yeah.
didn't want to do this, so she's boom. Then you got a good person doing that.
I'm
Now,
calling that
Jonathan Groff.
self-defense though, because when
No,
he got into the cabin, when he escaped the cabin, got his gun, like she did, she
you know,
like took a swing at his knee or whatever.
yeah, I mean, I get that, but it was something. If you have a family member and this has to happen, you're doing this not be you're being they were being forced to do this.
But
That's what I'm saying.
by Ben Aldridge or even Jonathan Groff, because he said no once. When they said
Mhm.
no, and the monsoons, the weather
Oh,
anomalies, the planes falling out of the sky, people died.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because they didn't choose, innocent people were dying, and then they had to kill other innocent people to defend their family.
But I mean,
It was just crazy.
they did say off the top, like we don't care if it's the end of the world, like the world can end, whatever. Like we're not gonna,
You got to decide.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like we could be the last motherfuckers in the world. Period. We're not gonna willingly kill each other. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Now, what I wish they would have paid off, and this is what I was waiting for, was when there's a scene, Jonathan Groff, gets attacked, gets concussed, you know, he has this moment of clarity, and he says, when in that reflection in the light, I saw a figure.
See,
I was hoping,
my bad, man.
I was
Finish.
hoping, no, I was hoping they would have paid that off. I wanted to know what he saw.
Yeah, I wanted to know how religious they were gonna go. Like, was it gonna be
That's,
God or? But I think him explaining that he saw the future, his dude, his man, his husband,
yep.
with their daughter. They were older. I think that him saying that is what he saw, right?
Yeah, he saw their future at one place. He's like, I saw, he goes, do it now because I have a happy memory. It's
Yeah,
you and her. And I see,
that
she
shit.
has
That shit was
practice.
emotional.
Yeah. But the figure that, because he said, I saw a figure. And Ben Aldridge's character is like, no, you didn't see it, this and that. He's like, no, you know? And
Yeah, like
Jonathan Groff, first off, Jonathan Groff needs to be put in more stuff.
I
I
can't
mean,
remember. I want to make a Frozen joke, but I can't remember his character's name.
oh, Christoph?
Kristoff. I kept wanting to say Sven or Hans or whatever.
Yeah, but he needs to be in more stuff. But, I mean,
They
he
were
was
good.
casted, they were good, casted perfectly.
Everybody, like the little girl,
It,
every adult.
yeah. But like, what gets me is the two things I keep thinking about is I wish they would have paid off, and I thought that was going to be the twist, was when they were leaving, they flash back and they start on the way to the cabin, they're singing a certain song that's
Mm-hmm.
on the radio. At the end, they turn the car on and it's the same song. Okay, he turns it off, the daughter, little girl, turns it back on, then she turns it off, and then Ben Aldridge's character is like, nope, we're going to play it. And turns it on. So it reminds them of his partner, her other dad, and all that.
Yeah.
When they drove away, that's when I'm expecting that twist of that. What did he see? And did he actually see that future? Or, like you said, how religious they were going to get?
I was waiting
Because
for
in
a
every
surprise.
movie,
It's a Cloverfield movie. No, I'm just playing.
but in every movie, whether it's The Village, The Happening, Signs, Sixth Sense,
Yo.
That twist.
I want everybody to know, because this is I will debate until I'm blue in the face. This is when M. Night got his groove back. The Visit has one of the most underrated twists in all of M. Night's filmography.
You know what's funny? I got that at my watch pile. That is one of the movies. Like I've watched every single M. Night Shyamalan movie except the first two. I think there's one called like Wide Awake or something like that I haven't seen. Like that was like one of his like first or second ones
I ain't counting
that he
shit.
ever directed.
I ain't counting
right?
that shit.
But like out of all his big movies, the Visit is a small movie.
Yeah.
It basically brought him back to where he started, and that is the one movie I've yet to see. I got it. I gotta watch it. I've yet to see it.
I'm gonna bite my tongue because I was gonna put it all out there.
Okay.
Yeah, like to me, like I'm middle America, ignorant cinephile. M. Night came on the spot with The Sixth Sense. I know he wrote Stuart Little or whatever the fuck. He did like Rosie O'Donnell and a little kid or whatever. I ain't seen that shit. Yeah, like I don't know his mindset. Like I know like The Happening was his own thing. It kind of bombed. It got bad reviews or whatever. But somehow Bird Box was like a worldwide phenomenon. The Last Airbender, like he made for his kids. I'm not sure he understood the source material or whatever.
Yeah,
it was trash. After Earth was like Will Smith's thing. So like yeah, like he wanted to scale back. Talked to Jason Blum, did God with Blumhouse, linked up with Universal. The Visit is really fucking good. And then he got the East Rail 177 trilogy. I know I'm probably in the minority. I like Split more than Unbreakable by that much. And then Glass is really good. Not as good as the first two, but it's really good. Old is good. KnockAtTheCabin is good. Like
I will say this. With that trilogy with Unbreakable, Split, and Glass, Glass was a third movie of a trilogy. Get it. But it depends on the day. One week it could be Unbreakable for me. The next week it could be Split. That's like right there. Right there. But, you know, it's Sixth Sense and Signs to me are still the two top tier ones. I lean Signs a little bit more, but Sixth Sense, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I have Signs 1 and Sixth Sense 2, but it's like they're 1 and 1A. Apparently, Signs being his best movie is supposedly, it's been recently brought to our attention that Signs being our favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie is a hot take. No, it's not. Go get your Twitter likes and shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah. We could break now and then do just a whole discussion on his career.
Yeah.
Or we can just talk, break in 10 minutes and.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so M. Night Shyamalan overall. Hit your top 5 again. Do it on wax this time.
Okay, 5 Village, 4 Split, 3 Unbreakable, 2 The Sixth Sense, and number 1 is Signs for me.
All right, I got 3 of those in mind. My 5 is Glass. My 4 is Unbreakable. My 3 is Split. My 2 is Sixth Sense. And my 1 is Signs.
Nice.
I don't know where to go from here.
I think with M. Night, it's funny because like he's in every single one of his movies. Like the cameo he does in KnockAtTheCabin, he's like it's like a QVC channel.
Yeah,
or something.
I wonder how many people caught it.
Yeah, but his movies are very intriguing.
Yeah,
you know, they're polarized.
So I did my stack on Monday. I was like, man, like you might not like After Earth, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender. None of his shit is boring though.
No, it's either you're gonna love it or hate it. Like this, like there's no. He doesn't have a movie where it's like. It's not boring because he gets your mind going because of, like I said, his style. His style always has a twist, a plot twist, and that twist is the moral of the story. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's always something. And for this, like I said, like referring back to Knock at the
Oh,
Cabin, this is the first one it doesn't have. You're like, oh,
I wouldn't say
you know,
Split
it's
had a twist
no,
or
but it
Glass.
did have.
People try
It
to
did get.
say people. I don't know if it's like the Clover people or
Mhm.
whatever, or like Bruce Willis getting drowned in a puddle or whatever. I think some people try to reach for Glass having a twist, but I'm not really sure it did.
No, Glass didn't have a twist, but with Split, what it did have was that end credit scene to blow people's mind away when you saw Bruce Willis at the
That's
diner.
true.
That was the thing, That's
That's
where
true.
it didn't have a twist in the movie, but then when you saw that, you're like, oh shit, this is Unbreakable is part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's where
Dude,
like
yeah.
like even Unbreakable, Mr. Glass, Samuel Jackson says,
He set
you
up
know, I,
everything.
he set up everything. He was the villain.
I guess
He was cooking.
Glass kind of piggybacked on the Unbreakable twist of Glass creating Kevin,
Yep.
of Mr. Glass
Mr.
the train. Like he recycled the twist from Unbreakable to
Yep.
say that to retcon, kind of like Peter Parker was in Iron Man 2, caught the train crash, developed all these personalities, the Horde, the Beast, all that shit.
It was good. Like, and that's a trilogy now when you could actually binge it and watch them all in a row. People that Glass was solid. I just wish Bruce Willis didn't die.
Yeah.
But yet, it's crazy how he's the most powerful human, and yet water is his weakness. And what's with M. Night Shyamalan with water being weaknesses, signs,
Yeah.
throw water on the aliens. Bruce Willis, strongest man alive, he drowns, can't swim, water. It's just crazy. I was waiting to see like a reference of like some water thing in this thing too. I was like, it's like,
yeah.
And it like, and the thing is this: I think a lot of people, the people that don't like Knock at the Cabin, which is fine. Yeah, everybody has different tastes.
Yeah, for sure.
It's okay not to like a movie. Just because I like it, that doesn't mean you have to like it. I get that. There's movies that people love, and I'm like, it was a good movie, but I don't see all the hype. But I wonder if even me, and I'm putting myself in this, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, okay, where's the twist coming? Okay, when is the twist coming?
Yeah.
Like, now knowing that there isn't one, I want to rewatch this when it comes out on physical and just watch it now to see if I missed anything. Because in every M. Night movie, you know there is going to be a twist because in the past, that's how it is. And not having one for this one, your mind is already preset because this is his style. Everybody has style. This is his style. What's the moral of the story? What's the twist? There wasn't one. And meanwhile, the whole time I'm waiting for it. Not now knowing that I'm not going to wait for it. There is none. I'm just going to watch it as a movie. I want to see if there are things that I missed in this movie, knowing that there is no twist. This is just what it is.
What if Dave Bautista was dead the whole time?
That'd be interesting. And we missed it. But you're right though. You're right though. That's one thing in the movie was, when he offs himself, they insinuate you know what he does.
Yeah.
You just see the blood, but you don't see the true act.
None of the four of them get their death shown on screen.
Exactly. They insinuated.
Even
you see what happens.
Even Jonathan Groff doesn't die on screen.
No. The only one that does is the nurse when she gets shot.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
And it's wild though.
But like, wasn't that the thing in The Sixth Sense? Like after it came out, he come out and confirmed, like every time you see red on screen, that means there's a dead person in the scene or something. How many times is Bruce Willis the only character in the scene when there's like a red door or knob or balloon or whatever?
Bro, that movie was phenomenal because the way it played out. He was dead, not knowing he's dead, especially that scene at the dinner with his wife.
She's being cold.
Bro, yeah, she was just like he tried to touch her hand, she moves her hand away. It was just the timing of it, and yet he's dead the whole time.
The Sixth
And you're
Sense is
thinking,
arguably perfect.
I was like, the way it played out, I didn't get it until she's watching the movies on the TV and all that, and I'm like, what? And the kid's been telling you the whole damn time, I see dead people.
Yeah. Even like the scenes was like there's like one or two scenes with Bruce Willis and Toni Collette, but she's not really acknowledging him.
No, no. And the thing is this: first off, I've seen, and not take anybody nomination. I've seen people get nominated for less screen time. Donnie Wahlberg should have been nominated.
Yeah,
bro. I didn't even know that was him.
I told y'all while I was watching the shit. I told y'all while I was watching the shit. How like Donnie Wahlberg is better in one scene, like one monologue, one scene of The Sixth Sense, better than Mark Wahlberg in how many Mark Wahlberg movies? Practically all of them except maybe 3.
And remember, he was also in Dreamcatcher. Duddits, you know what I mean? It's like it's that was crazy.
It's like he went for Oscar in like 3 straight years, 4 straight years, and then was just like, fuck it, I'll make Saw 2.
It's funny because now looking back, and I've only seen parts of this movie, and like it's like the parts I've seen, I'm like, I feel like showering in Bleach is The Machinist with Christian Bale when he got skinny like that. That's what Donnie Wahlberg, like that's to that level. And remember, Wahlberg and Bale, to do those roles, they're not skinny. Those guys are built.
Yeah.
Pretty built guys. And to get like that, like I said, I did not even recognize him. I didn't even know who that was.
Christian Bale's crazy,
skinny guy. Yeah.
Christian Bale will go Machinist, The Fighter, and then he'll go American Hustle, Vice. But then get jacked for Batman.
Man. Yeah, I just don't know how they do it.
Dude, but Christian Bale's made out of origami.
But no. And that's the thing. I think I'm excited to, because as of now, I rated KnockAtTheCabin. I gave it 6 out of 10. But it's like, I feel like it's like The Menu to me in my mind. When I first saw The Menu, I was like, oh, it's a solid movie, but it still stuck in my head.
The Menu's great.
And then after thinking about it, I'm like, nah, this is better than what I gave it. KnockAtTheCabin, I gave it 6 out of 10 as well. But I'm thinking, but is that because I had a preconceived notion of where's the twist? And there was none. So it was still a good movie, but there was no twist for 6 out of 10. That's why I want to rewatch it, now knowing there is none.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I guess in the moment, I was just like, well, is the revelation that they're the 4 horsemen and they just wanted to hang out and not torture or attack?
Yes.
Maybe that, like, it's a softball of a twist, but maybe that was it.
And the funny thing is, I can't remember what his character's name was, but Ben Aldridge's character, like, he was the one that didn't take shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'm not taking shit. At one point in the movie, I was getting annoyed by him, and I'm thinking he needs to die. He needs to sacrifice himself. But then I'm thinking, no,
he's just defending his family.
Yeah, and I would probably act the same way and be in denial, even though I'm seeing it on TV. And you willingly know, yes, you're tied up. They tied you up for a reason, and yet they're not being malicious.
Yeah.
You could see it in them. They're heartbroken that they have to do this.
It was
they don't want to do it.
He knew that he knew Rupert Grint, so he thought it was all a scam.
Yep. And that was the throwback. That's what got me was, but then when they killed Rupert Grint's character, he was the first one to go. Now he's just thinking, man, these guys are just plain old crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're just crazy.
But it's like
You know,
with Bautista's like reciting word for word like the news coverage on
that was
TV.
that was great.
Yeah. So it was playing both sides. Like maybe they're telling the truth, but like he knows, like he's seen this broadcast before, so maybe it's pre-recorded. Like it was throwing you.
And that's what he said. He goes, "You guys are." He said basically, "You guys rehearsed this. This is all pre-recorded. How do you know what she's gonna say before she says it?" You know, and that was creepy. Like, how did he? How did he know
Yeah.
that? You know, and that could be like that keeps you on your edge. It's like, all right, is this a setup? But then when you see the planes falling and crashing, like, okay, you can't set that up.
That's what like man, like that's M Night and his detail. It's like even like the village, like they're living in modern times. They just made it look old timey. That's dope.
Yep,
The reveal
yep.
that those we don't speak of is just them in a suit, like that's crazy. Like the
And the
happening, like bro, it's all the air. It's Mother Nature coming back because
sure.
of all our pollution and shit. Like that's still like the biggest injustice in cinema. Y'all go crazy. Y'all go crazy. You go crazy over Bird Box. It's the happening. It's all it is. It's nature fighting back.
and, and it is because if you think about it too, look how it ends. There is no there is no evidence left. Lightning hits the wooden cabin, burns all that evidence.
Yup.
So that's like you said, how religious is it gonna get? You know, God, if you believe in God, you know, is the one that this is happening for a reason. All this happens, you got all evidence of murder, death, all that there. And remember, they kept bringing Bautista when they would kill one of their own off, they would do it in a certain way, chop them up or decapitate them, let's just say,
Yeah.
and he would bring him into the back room. Even when the nurse got shot, was in the house, back room. So now all the bodies are there. Lightning strikes the cabin, burns it down. No evidence.
They didn't go
I mean,
like
this
into
probably
super specifics. That was probably a part of the vision, like seeing themselves dead and they
yep.
had to be placed here, so there was no proof of anything that happened.
Mm-hmm. And that was the thing. It was more or less like I was thinking. And when I was thinking, here's the twist. With Jonathan Groff was, you know, I've seen this. I'm in a happy place. You need to kill me. When he was saying that, I thought it was to ease Ben Aldridge in doing that, but also I thought he was going to take the gun and shoot him because he saw. Remember, he said he saw the future,
Yeah.
and maybe he was. I'm thinking, oh, he's saying these things like he sees his daughter and him. She has her own practice. You're helping her with the practice because he was a lawyer. You know, she's doing this. Meanwhile, I'm thinking he's saying that, but it's actually he sees himself helping his daughter, and there was going to be that flip. But when that didn't happen, I was like, okay, how is this going to go?
The swerve that got me was he kept saying he had the vision, and like they kept like lingering, like the camera kept lingering on him when they were talking. I was like, man, I think
Yes.
he believes him. He's going to end up being like the fifth one. He's going to join their cause or something. He's going to like, I don't know, like kill Ben Aldridge because he believes what they're talking about. And that's where like maybe that's the twist that I was expecting. And
Mm-hmm.
it never happened. And I was still satisfied with the way that everything played out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when it ended, I was like, this movie is solid. It was solid. You know, I would recommend it. I'm gonna buy it and all that. But I think, like I said, the preconceived notion I had is I want to see this movie because he always has a twist.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the twist. And throughout the whole movie, I was enjoying the movie, but when is the twist coming? I know it's at the end, but when am I going to see this twist? And when it didn't happen, I felt a little empty, like, oh, there was no twist. But so that's why I said, okay, you know, it's a solid movie, but it was but it's but now I keep thinking about Jonathan Groff.
Still thinking about it.
Said, I saw the figure. I this. No, this is this. I'm clear of mind. I want to rewatch it now, knowing this is just how it is,
Yep.
and see now if that changes which will probably, if it changes my view of the movie.
Yeah. Um, what you think about Lady in the Water?
Interesting movie. It was definitely interesting. Was it one of his better ones? No, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as bad as people say it
No.
is.
I think
Like
it's
people
original.
trash that movie.
People
Yeah,
people
it's
bitch
different.
about there's no original movies because y'all like don't give shit a chance.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that's the thing though too, is I feel like in the movie community, people want original movies, but when there's original movies, nobody goes out there to see them because they're used to the Marvel stuff, the DC, the John Wicks, all this
Franchise.
franchise IP. You know what I mean? So when there's something original, oh, this sucked, or this that. Well, why did? Because you're not. This is something different. Anything in life, you're at work, your job. When something changes, it's different. Nobody likes change. You know what I mean? And that's the weird thing about it. But but that's what makes his movies so intriguing. Is they're not, whether you like them or hate them, he keeps you thinking.
That's the crazy shit about M. Night Shyamalan. The only one of his movies that you need to watch another movie to completely get is Glass.
Yeah.
You can watch Unbreakable on its own, and it stands alone as its own great story. You can watch Split and get the same thing. But, like you said, Bruce Willis at the end, oh, what's this? Let me go back. You don't necessarily need to, though. Signs, Sixth Sense, Visit, Knock at the Cabin, Oh, The Village, The Happening, Lady in the Water, After the Last Airbender. Mm-hmm. You can watch them all on their own, and they all stand alone as their own shit.
And the marketing for Split was phenomenal because look what ended up happening. It's, you watch Split, nobody knew what it was, right? You watch it, James McAvoy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the movie ends, the credits and all that. Now there's a post-credit scene. What people that I saw Unbreakable knew right away. Right away. People that didn't see it, what the hell is this? Now they got to go back and watch Unbreakable, and it all clicks. A world is being made. You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
What trips me out about you, though, Rocket, you a Giants fan. Practically all these movies take place in Philly.
Yep. Terrible.
You hate watching 12, 13 ass movies. After Earth and the Last Airbender ain't in no Philly, but like 11 movies, all in Pennsylvania. They was like, bro, we came from this city, all of Pennsylvania to this cabin. Like, all right, of course, this cabin is in Pennsylvania. Damn, Homer.
But you know what though? It's kind of funny because I kind of like that though. Is he's from there?
Yeah. He's from Pride in Your Crib.
So basically, all his movies are based in that area, which is kind of cool.
But it's all a shared universe. The Pennsylvania shared universe.
Yep. It's definitely cool. I'm waiting for that Signs reveal in another movie. Like, oh shit, this is part of Signs.
I think he said, what was it? He said in either Split or Glass, he was gonna throw a wink to The Visit, and then like pulled it last minute because I don't know, he just didn't want that. I don't remember his explanation, but he said he backed out at the last second. Well,
the funny thing is this is,
wait, there's no way Old takes place in Pennsylvania.
I don't even know. That's at a resort.
Yeah.
So that's not in Pennsylvania.
Maybe they came from Pennsylvania. I can't remember.
Could be. But I remember, he did, The Sixth Sense. He did Signs, Village. He's on a roll. Then, like, movies like Lady in the Water, The Happening. Some people will say not his best stuff.
I think The Village didn't hit like he Touchstone wanted. So they wouldn't fund Lady in the Water or some shit. And then until The Visit, he literally bounced. Lady in the Water is at Warner Brothers. The Happening is
Yep.
at Fox. Last Airbender's at Paramount, because of course they own the rights there. And then After Earth was Sony. And then, like I said, Universal, Blumhouse, The Visit. He found a home.
Yep. And I think, me personally, I think he should have stayed with Blumhouse.
Yeah. This isn't Blumhouse. It's still Universal,
No,
but Knock at the Cabin is
it's
not
Universal.
Blumhouse.
I think he should have stayed with Blumhouse, but he got to that point where a few movies in a row, especially. See, the funny thing is with the Last Airbender. Prior to seeing the movie, I've never seen the cartoon.
Nah.
So when I saw the movie, I was like, "Oh, this isn't bad. It's not bad. I don't know what people. It's not bad." And people were just tearing it apart. So I was like, "You know what? Let me see the cartoon." After I saw the cartoon, I was like, "Yeah, this is bad. This is terrible." Right? But that's when like he fell off, and people were like, like his name didn't have the same cachet as it once did until, and everybody raves about this movie. I haven't seen it, like you said, The Visit. Small movie. Everybody raves about it and they're saying he's back.
It's my number 6.
After the Visit, what does he do next? Split. Awesome movie. So right there, he's back with 2 back-to-back movies, and then the reveal with the breakable, and then he blew up again.
To me, his only true miss to me is The Last Airbender. I find enjoyment in everything else he's made.
Same. Like now going back into, like I said, if you've never seen the cartoon, it's a phenomenal cartoon. You'll see why people were like, "Yeah, this is trash." But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
First,
I always just assume he deviated so far from the source material that it just doesn't measure up.
Right, but I agree. The Last Airbender, not good. Old wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But even with that movie, you're thinking like, what is going on here? Like it's just. But there's once again a twist. The resort is trying to build a formula to never age, it's just these things, but there's a twist. So I just think every movie, like I said, whether you like M. Night or you don't, you can never say his movies, like you said, to put it in your words, are boring. They're always intriguing and they always make you think.
Facts. I think that's a good ending point. So jump in the comments. Let us know what y'all think about Knock at the Cabin. Rank M. Night Shyamalan filmography in your opinion. And hopefully these dudes ain't all gonna work. Because next episode, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, spoilers again. And we be back. Rec League Podcast. Yo. I'll put the crosshairs on any lame I see. You still don't want no smoke, even with that fake ID? Randy been peculiar, but cool as Ferris Bueller. Check the DNA, I'm a Hoosier. INDIANA, you motherfucking loser. Everything you hate about me is cause I was raised out east. You can get split just for thinking you the beast. You lazy fucks out here want a shortcut to the fame and the wealth, but not to experience the journey. You just hurting yourself. Don't sleep, cause you might not wake up. You a waste, better used as any space that you just might take up. Carlton Banks, Robert Barone, you nothing but a hater. Everybody got a limit and I'm about to snap like alligator. Y'all faker than the movie pre-show big hand having ass dude. Always got an opinion, but the reality is ain't nobody ask you. And chill until the next episode.